Hi, this is Kajukenbo Live coming out of South Lake Tahoe, California. I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez. Today I got a special co-host, Grandmaster Sidney Lopez. He's here.
How are you doing?
And we're going to interview today Sifu Dave Charlesworth from Italy. So it should be a pretty good interview, and we'll hope you guys enjoy it. Sifu, you on the line?
Yeah, hi, how you doing? Good morning.
Well, it's good night. It's good evening for us, but that's good. That's okay. And how's the weather over there right now?
Oh, it's pretty hot. It's been around the hundreds lately here, and a lot of humidity.
Yeah, it's been hot over here too. Today we had a little bit of the air was kind of smoky from the fires from Yosemite and stuff. And then earlier tonight, I was baking some cinnamon rolls for my kids, and they hit the clean button on the oven, and it caught on fire, and I couldn't open it, so I had to call the fire department because the whole house you couldn't see in here with so much smoke. And of course they thrashed my oven, so now I got to buy a new oven. So that was our excitement for tonight. But let's ask you a couple questions here. So how old were you when you first started in martial arts?
Oh, I think I was about 12 or 13 years old. Probably, I think, 7th grade or so.
Oh, that's cool. And how long? So how long altogether you been in the martial arts?
Well, ever since I started when I was about in 7th grade there, I've been doing martial arts. I did it for about 5 years there, 5.5 years when I was a kid, and then I went into the military for 26 years. And during that time, I just did a lot of training on my own with friends, and found a school here and there. But it always seemed like I found a Kajukenbo school right about the time I was getting ready to leave. So
Oh yeah.
it took me a while to get to where I'm at today.
Where did you start at? Did you start in Newburgh?
I did. I started at your school there, Grandmaster Lopez.
Oh, okay.
You remember him, right, Grandmaster?
Yeah, I remember him. He was a young kid. He was Beth Bailey, wasn't it?
Yeah, Beth Bailey was the senior student at the time, and well, I'm not even sure if we called her the senior student at that time, but in fact, I caught up with her, and I was right underneath her as far as seniority goes in the school.
That's a long time. That's a long time ago.
He said that's a long time ago.
Yes, it was. It sure was. But it's one of those things where I think too, where I got lucky and I started off with Kajukenbo, and it seemed like everything else did not compare. Every time I'd kind of look at something, thinking, okay, well, I can't find a Kajukenbo school. What can I find? And it just wasn't the same. So,
Well, I was a different kind of teacher, though.
Yeah, you have any stories, Sifu, about Grandmaster Lopez when you were learning?
Well, I remember he had to get a new mirror in his school. I think it was my orange belt test, actually. I think it was my first belt test, where I'd locked my knees. We were all, waiting our turn to be tested, and I'm standing there, I locked my knees. Next thing I know, I wake up, and there's Sifu Lopez looking down at me. Don't move. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on? He goes, you fell down into a mirror. The next thing I know, I was going to the hospital, and
Oh, you cut yourself?
oh yeah, I got all stitched up. In fact,
Wow.
I remember Sifu saying he thought that this big shard of glass that was falling down was going to go into my chest.
Oh, wow.
And I guess it broke right next to my body and splintered pieces everywhere. And I got a nice cut on my back and one on my arm.
Jeez. Remember that?
And,
Yeah. I remember one of my students, he was an older guy. No, he wasn't older. He was probably the same age as I was at the time. This is a long time ago. He cut his finger on my mirror. On the side, it was a little bit sharp, and he cut his finger. So he walked by my office, and he's all, Sifu, I cut my finger. So being a smart ass, I go, what do you want, a fucking Band-Aid? You know? And he kind of looked at me like, asshole. And he walked off, and I didn't realize it, but they had to do a skin graft off his ass to bound his finger because it sliced all of his skin off his finger. But the way he looked at it, I thought it was just a little cut, and he was just being a baby. So he come back the next day, and he's look at my butt, and he showed me his big old stitch and stuff. And he goes, you asked me if I wanted a Band-Aid, and I go, you know, that's the way it was. But yeah, those mirrors can cut pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, go ahead. I was going to ask you a question. Hey, what's the difference between U.S. and Italy?
In what sense? And as far as martial arts goes, or?
Well, you know, is Italy kind of like U.S.?
Like the way like the way they train and everything.
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I think that they're a little bit, less intense than what we're used to. In fact, that's some of the feedback I got from a friend of mine that goes to the gym where I teach at. She told me essentially that a lot of the people in the gym were kind of interested on what's going on in there, but apparently they're a little bit scared to come on in. So it's kind of a little bit different. Society here is somewhat different than ours in the States, and people are a little bit more reserved versus the way we are in the U.S.
Tell me about some of your teachers you had.
Okay, well, obviously, we were talking earlier. I started off with Sid Lopez when back in probably 82, 83 time period. That was, when I was about 12 years old. I was, probably, I think, in 7th grade in middle school. One of the things I remember about that is my dad took me to check out the class, and I remember Sifu saying, "Well, Mr. Charlesworth, what do you think?" And my dad said, "Well, I don't know. My son gets in a lot of fights." And then I remember Sifu saying, "Well, don't you worry, Mr. Charlesworth. If he gets in another fight, I'll kick his ass."
Yeah, sounds like him.
And I tell you what, I think every time he did a demonstration on me, he hit me just hard enough that I could feel it. And I don't know if that was why or not, but it kept me down that straight and narrow. And actually, after I started martial arts with Sid, I never did get in another fight in school. There was a couple times where I got close and had to defend myself here and there, but
yeah,
just to get somebody off of me or something like that. But I did not initiate anything further after that. I was kind of scared of that, man.
Yeah.
So I cured you, huh?
Yeah, you have to admit he is
I
strong.
can't remember exactly how far later, but after Alex Arias and Tim Gagne got their black belts, Tim Gagne came out and kind of took over the Newburgh school, so to speak. I think he was actually a second degree at the time.
Yeah.
I studied under him a little bit for about another year, and then I went to active duty in the Navy in 1988 after graduating high school, about 6 days after, and went down to San Diego, did boot camp, went to my first ship, and right before I left San Diego, I found a school in La Mesa, California, which is outside of San Diego. And until recently, I didn't know whose school it was, but I just found out from talking to somebody else that was actually Vince Black's school.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess I studied there for about 2-3 months, and then I transferred up to Oregon and was doing recruiting duty. And I thought that was a great idea because I figured I'd probably hook up with everybody and try to finish up. Little did I know that recruiting duty is one of the worst duties in the world.
Imagine.
As far as hours go. And come to find out, there was a young kid that I used to teach as one of the senior students by the name of Brian Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
That was teaching a class right across the street from my recruiting office in a fitness club.
Oh, wow.
But I did that until I think it was about 2 months again before I was leaving.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I might have been able to go over there. And then, let's see, that would bring me, 26 years later, after 26 years in the Navy, I did my last tour here in Italy, which that's what brought me here. And I married an Italian woman, so decided I was going to stay. And, kept searching for somebody to teach Kajukenbo. And I ended up finding a guy up in Rome by the name of Marco Longo, who was under the WKAA at that time.
Yeah. I know Marco.
And things got really problematic when it comes to doing classes due to COVID.
Yeah.
So over here was probably a lot more draconian than what you guys experienced back in the States. In fact, I haven't been stopped very many times by the police over here, but during the COVID lockdown, I think I got stopped 5 times.
Oh,
They asked
really?
me, where are you going? Show me your paperwork that says that you need to go to work. So we had these special letters from the base and had to show those to the Carabinieri when they stopped us.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird. It was like, I don't know, kind of made me think about like World War II and, hey, papers kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was kind of crazy. And, somewhere in that time frame, which I guess is when I got in touch with you, and you brought me under you in the WKAA, and I'd say a little bit later, you ended up promoting me to my student black belt,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been under you ever since, which I guess that's probably about 2 years ago now, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what made you want to get into the WWKA?
Well, that was one of those things where you guys were available, and essentially, I got introduced to you guys through I think it's Grandmaster Forback got a hold of Marco because he looked him up on the Kajukenbo.org site.
Yeah.
And I was calling everybody their dog, and I saw people on there, and I was like, "Hey, tried to get a hold of him. I left him a message, and nothing happened until Grandmaster Forback called him, and then next thing you know, I got a phone call. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I started coming under the WKAA there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was under you at that time.
Marco was.
And then we got in touch, and here we are today. So it's kind of a blessing. So I guess it took me almost 39 years to get my student black belt.
Yeah, you've done a tremendous job, learning all the forms and techniques and stuff, and now you got your own podcast. I mean, that's great. I mean, you can't ask for anything better.
Hey, tell us about your school.
Oh, well, I'm actually teaching in a fitness club right now, which is it's actually kind of a nice sized little area that they've got set aside for doing martial arts and calisthenics and things like that. But they've got all mats out there, punching bags, everything a school needs. So I teach there for now. It's one of those things where the problem with opening a business in Italy is they charge you, they say an occhio in a testa, which is they charge you an eye for your rent, so to speak.
What's an eye?
Well, your eyes. One of your eyes,
Oh, got you. Yeah. I see.
Yeah, they make you pay quite a bit for a school. So I figured I'd start out doing the fitness club route. Get some students built up, that sort of thing, and then once I get to a point where I feel comfortable, I'll probably try to rent my own space and continue to grow it. So, but that's been kind of problematic due to the ongoing COVID thing. We've kind of been in in mask, out of mask, in mask, out of mask. Contact sports for a while were not allowed.
Yeah. Tell me about we'll go a different direction here. Tell me about, cause I know that we talked about this several times, and you post a lot of stuff too. The politics right now in Kajukenbo. How you feeling about that?
Well, I remember when I was, when I started Kajukenbo back in Newburgh under Grandmaster Lopez. Some of the things that were stressed to us, and it was very important. And we're kind of built into all the different rules and everything else that we have in the school. Or things like honor, honesty, patience, respect, loyalty, sincerity, self-control, both mentally and physically, spirituality, and sacrifice. In fact, I think that a lot of people, especially nowadays, have kind of forgotten about what the symbolism of the clover on the back of the gi stands for. And probably a couple of the other ones as well. And it's kind of sad, really, because it seems that it's become, a big lack of respect and integrity and loyalty, which are three of the tenets that Clover stands for, besides just the mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
If you think about the rest of it too, where the reeds are actually reaching up to knowledge towards the clover, the stem being Sijo and whatnot. And it just seems that people forget that we have kind of a hierarchy or in a ranking system in Kajukenbo, just like the military does.
Sure.
And it's one of those things that it's kind of sad to me when you have, lower ranking black belts popping off to grandmasters,
I know.
Senior grandmasters, and questioning the validity of their grades and things like questioning their promotions. I mean, to me, it's not an association that promotes someone. It's that person's instructor.
Yeah.
So if I decide that you've met the criteria to be whatever belt I'm promoting you to, that's my decision as your instructor.
Sure.
Now, if I promote somebody that doesn't deserve it, sure, that's going to give me a bad reputation. Yeah, but that's mine to own. So I kind of look at it, kind of in a different limelight. And what's kind of funny is, and this analogy will kind of go further, is if you're on the family tree, you can put somebody else on the family tree.
That's right.
And they won't take you off the family tree, And from understand, people have asked, say, hey, I want to take so-and-so off because he...
Or they want to go from one person to the other person, and I know Galinas tells them, no, we can't do that. You know.
So, to me, I don't even know why some of this stuff that's happened, and, maybe I just look at it in a different light now that I'm a black belt versus when I was coming up. I didn't even know what the family tree was really back then. But, now that I'm on it, I look at it and I go, wow. And then what's really strange is one of the guys that causes a lot of the hate and discontent, I haven't found his name on the family tree yet. So I'm kind of, okay, that's kind of strange.
Who was that?
Oh, shoot. I don't remember his name now. You would put me on the spot.
Well, a lot of these guys, they shut their mouths up and stuff like that. But look, when they promote somebody, I can care less. I mean, if they promote somebody, that's their business. If they make a mistake, that's on them. Every black belt out there, senior grandmaster, Sifu, Sigon, they made a mistake promoting somebody. There's not one person out there that's not going to do that. But when you get the haters constantly, look at that, oh, look at this, or look at that, or people like that, I just, that's the kind of people I'm just like, just go away. I mean, just, grow up, and, just like, and then a lot of the, for me is, like I was just talking to Grandmaster Lopez a little while ago about Senior Grandmaster Vargas. You know, a lot of people say a lot of bad things about him, but one thing I can say about him, he was a traditionalist. You know, we wore our uniform in the class. We didn't go out there in the tank top and a pair of shorts. We didn't go out there in the tournaments uh, it's the same way. You know, I mean, the KSDI just had their tournament this weekend, and I was watching some of the videos, and you know, I mean, one of the senior grandmasters that's the head of the whole thing. He does his kata. He walks out in a pair of shorts and a tank top. Throws his wallet on the ground. Throws his keys in the ground. Does it? He goes back, and then and the guys behind him are senior grandmasters going to compete too in all their uniforms. To me, something like that is you need to show an example. That's not an example, you know. Or I see somebody with a pair of sunglasses on doing a bow staff for him. You know, running around the tournament. You know, yelling and screaming. To me, that's kind of like lowers the standard. So when they worry about other people's promoting people, but yet they do stuff like that, or they're out there doing a kata in their tank top and their t-shirts, you know, to me, that you still have to hold the tradition. What do you think about that, Senior Grandmaster Lopez?
I think that's true. I wanted to say something to him. I'm proud that that I influenced you in the martial arts and seeing that you're still in it. That makes me happy. You know. You hear me?
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, and you had a tremendous impact on my life, and you know what you taught me and everything else coming up in your school. I was just pissed off at myself because I didn't finish before I went in the Navy. You know, and that was one of those things where you know, part of that story is you know, the only reason I didn't is I was supposed to go do my belt test with Beth, and I ended up getting in a motorcycle accident and broke my hand.
Wow.
And I was on painkillers, and I'm like, hey, I gotta go to the belt test. You know, and Mom's like, no, you don't. You're on drugs. You don't need to do that. I said, yes, I do. I argued with my mom. She ended up winning, obviously.
But you know what? I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you're.
Had I not been, I would have walked my ass there.
But I'm proud that you stayed with it. You know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But that's probably one of the best things I did, you know, and I'm kind of glad. It may have taken me 39 years to get here, but I'm pretty happy that I finally did.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'll be able to take this and actually spread Kajukenbo around Italy. I know there's a couple people out here that claim to be Kajukenbo, but didn't see their names on the tree.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you know,
I'm kind of questioning that, but and I know they do this thing, they call it the truffatore, which is pretending to be something that you're not and trying to make money off of it.
well, you know what makes me proud that you're still doing it, and that now that we made a connection, maybe we can do some videos, and maybe we can do. You can watch me and Tony do some things, and you can learn from us on video.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. You know, and then you know, like I said, you know, when things get a little better, I just take a flight over to Italy and hang out with you for a while. Maybe work out a little bit. You can show us the sights.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal.
You know, so tell me what your plans are going to be in the future for Sifu Dave Charlesworth.
Well, like I said, you know, I guess my dream has always been to teach Kajukenbo. It's kind of one of those things where you know, I've always looked forward to that. You know, and in fact, I was talking with another one of your students here, Sifu, I believe, Steve Miller.
Oh yeah.
I trained with him a couple times when I went home on leave and things like that. And I remember teaching Steve and Brian Frazier, and David Funk,
Yeah.
when I was in high school. So, you know, I got the bug back then, and I just wanted to do it ever since. The only thing I was missing was the authority to do so. And now that I'm here, and my plan is to just continue trying to spread the art, you know, and hopefully get some Italians in the school there with me, and you know, get some people learning, and hopefully eventually get some black belts out here so that we can, spread our joy across the rest of the world here.
Well, we're going to have that summit in Morocco, so I'd like you to try to be there if you can. It's not going to be till next year.
Yeah, certainly we'll see what I can do to get over there. I mean, it's not that far from here, I don't think.
I think you're closer than I am.
Yeah, a little bit.
Morocco, we're having a summit with all the grandmasters and all the black belts, and students are all going to meet in Morocco in Africa.
Whoa.
It's a ways away, but I was supposed to go a while ago, but they're kind of like Portugal. They have seasons for their karate, and then they can't teach, and then they come in again and stuff like that.
Ah.
Okay. So that's good. But
here we're pretty much shut down until September. The vacation month of August here.
Yeah, that's what they are too. Yeah.
Everybody shuts down. A lot of the stores at least half the month, and
wow.
Even pharmacies. One will be open for the first half, the other will be open for the second half. They kind of coordinate that stuff because it's vacation time.
Yeah, that's weird. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna blank for a second. That's you'll get back started again. You get everything back going again. Everything will be good and everything. So you can't beat that. But all right. Well, you have any last thoughts, Sifu Dave?
Well, I just say to anybody that's out there like me, keep on training, keep on trying. You'll get there eventually. Like I said, it took me about 39 years to get here, and it's definitely well worth it. Staying with it. I think one of the reasons why it was so easy for me to throw up some videos on the forums and things like that is because I did them from time to time. I tried to keep myself current. So just keep on training and keep the hope alive and stay strong and go from there.
Yeah. Well, the last thing, then we'll wrap the interview up. Tell us about your podcasts, and that way so the viewers and the fans know what your podcast, the name of it is, and what you're going to talk about.
Well, I got a channel. It's called Kajukenbo Napoli. And originally I kind of just started it up just to kind of, show my stuff a little bit. And then I started making some videos that I think that, would be applicable to students. And one of the things that I think we're lacking on, in martial arts as a whole is the whole psychological aspect of things. For example, like just the principles of fighting. That's something I don't think a lot of schools really cover anymore. They do a lot of sports-centric type stuff. I feel kind of like some of the martial arts has been watered down, and we are more sport-orientated, vice self-defense orientated, and I think some of that is in the commercialism that is martial arts. A lot of people talk about McDojo kind of thing, but I think the reality of it is we always try to change to suit the demand. Adding Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and rolling around on the mat and things like that, which is all fine and dandy when you're in the ring or in the octagon,
yeah,
and it's a fight. But I think when you're in a self-defense kind of situation, at least based off of my experience, getting on the ground and committing to a one-on-one role with somebody is probably not a good idea when the guy's got friends around. And smash you in the head with a beer bottle and jump you from behind, get sucker punch you.
Yeah.
And in fact, the only time I've really used this is when I used to work at a bar as a bouncer.
Oh, really?
For about 2 years in San Diego. So that and my involvement with military police type stuff.
Yeah.
My career. So it's come in handy there.
I just didn't myself. I just the the wrestling and, the jiu-jitsu on the ground, wrestling with the other guy on the ground, it's okay to learn it, but I never was really into that. I just had no interest wrestling with another dude on the ground, and I just didn't. I just rather spar, smack each other, and that's just probably really going to happen. But like you said, if there's more than one person, the guy that he can tackle one guy to the ground, but what about the other two? The others who are going to beat the hell out of you while you're down there.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, but I'd say if you're going to fight MMA, that's probably a necessary thing.
Oh, of course, yeah, and there you have to. Well, Senior Grandmaster Lopez, do you have anything last thing to say to your old student, Sifu Charlesworth?
Well, I trained under a lot of people while I was, out here, and I learned a lot about different things, and I like to do the jiu-jitsu. I've added a lot to what I do, and so it's made it more practical for me because I was training a lot of fighters in MMA, so it showed them how to use the groundwork and the stand up. So my style changed a little bit.
Yeah, because didn't you get Robert Nee's brother promote you?
Yeah, he promoted me in Sambo.
Yeah.
I got a 5th degree in Sambo.
And we're gonna open up a studio here in South Lake Tahoe, me and Grandmaster Lopez too, so he can wrestle with the guys on the ground. I'll stand up. It's not for me. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this interview up. I'm glad we had a chance to chat here, and I hope you the best. And thank you. Anyway, this is Kajukenbo Live. I'm Senior Grandmaster HEMENES. This is my co-host, Grandmaster Sid Lopez. Until next time, we'll see you later.